Yeah, looks like I am live, and let's see if I'm live on YouTube as well, so that I can go through the comment section easily. It looks much nicer on the YouTube itself, or the Twitter, like you have this very nice view of it. Yeah, so I am live on YouTube as well. So hi everyone, I will first get rid of this view that I had, and I will show you what I'm working on. So yeah, so I went for a walk in the morning. It was like a 3 kilometer walk, and I ran after many months. And I stopped running. I wasn't a good runner. I was just a casual runner, so I stopped running because I really wanted to go to this Mount Fuji marathon. It was a 17 kilometer marathon around Lake Kawakuchiku, and I was in the flight at the time when the tickets were like when they were supposed to start with, and when I landed and I saw the page, the tickets were already gone. So after that I was so sad that I decided to just give up on running. But today I went to this running club in the morning in Bangkok, and I finally started running again. It was a pathetic run, if I have to just put it that way. I It was supposed to be a 3 kilometer run, but I kind of gave up around 2.4 or 5 kilometers and then walked. So before that, when I was on the way to go for this run, I really thought that I want my Strava subscription is expiring, and I really wanted these pretty maps in my app. So if you can see that I have this detail view for the workout. It says morning run, and the distance, and the athlete intelligence, and this is my intelligence is much better than this. uh, so, and this is how it looks on my app. I have the running, the distance, calories, average, and the a pretty graph for the heart rate. And then I have the Zenther AI, which gives me an idea your fastest pace, which today sets a new personal record. Wow. And for your next workout, consider increasing your duration by 5 minutes, which I make sense, and aim for a heart rate limit 140, because I have been doing almost 190 at one point. And focus on maintaining a good form and keep up the great work, and remember I'm here cheering on you on every step of the way. So this is what I actually wanted, like even though it did not help me while I was running, but when I come back and see it, I have a kind of a running partner who is cheering me on to go for a run again. it the format that I have is something that I can work on, because there's too much of text and I do not want to read so much of text. So this is something that I can improve. If you see what we have in Strava, it's not much, it's just a few lines of code, and when I click on say more, it will generate something. And I don't think even with that it's so you have a summary and then a few lines of code of working on the lines or the numbers. So this is something that I can copy directly in my app. Not copy, like understand the idea that you have one few lines, which is the summary in bold, much bigger font, and then the few lines which are much more like a caption font, and that focuses more on the numbers. So, and this will, because what I do here is generated by the foundation model iOS 26 and MLX on the iOS 18. So I can have JSON response, at least for the general one. I can have a summary and then more of a description detail, so it gives me a JSON that I can directly issue in the UI. So with that, the idea of the stream is to work on the new map, and I wanted to start from the beginning on why I want the map and how would I go about implementing that, especially during the like do some research on different websites like Mobin and Refero for different apps out there which shows maps, and how I can implement one. So my idea is that I will have a map, a huge map here, that will cover all these four grids, and the four grids will go down, especially when you're walking and running. And because I have already tested, if I go back to my items, you can see I have walking. I actually have a 41 minutes walk. That should have much more better map route, and then the walking, and they're like I have a lot of data to see how it will look, and I can compare it to what I see on Strava as well. My idea is not to have the best map out there. I just want a map that shows me that it was a map, because there's nothing that I want to generate out of it, but the expect that I want is that when I'm clicking on a workout detail, and when trying to share it, I would have different options to share as well. So it's a social aspect that I want, and not that in one stretch I'm doing a better pace that is shown by red, or if I'm being slow, it is shown by green. That's a lot of work which I do not want to do. So a very basic map that shows the route, I have no idea how to implement that. I do know that for a given running, walking, or cycling, you get an HK workout route object that I can directly use. So with that, let me just see if there are any comments. And yeah, so we don't have anything. So the first app that I would want to try out and understand is the Nike Run Club. This is something that I already had looked into, and in the screens, why is it not refreshing? I think the internet is good enough. Somebody in the chat said it's okay, man, you at least you ran. Yeah, I'm kind of happy I actually did something. uh, so let's see if I can just search. Is there an option to search here? Yeah, just search for run map. For some reason the internet is slower when I'm trying to do this. In that meantime, I will search on Refero as well if I can find UI map and navigation. I do not want the map as like from apps itself, but more on the running map state. It is still loading. I did not know Gentra Streak had maps, but let's see what we have. So there's another app that is new, which is called as Miles. It's simple distance, time, and map. So I think I will wait for this to load. Oops, I do not have the email ready. You're successfully logged in. Let's look at this view. In the meantime, we see that we also have the maps. I will just search for running map directly here, because one is Strava, one is Any Distance, one that I want to take inspiration from, because Any Distance also made their code open source. I don't think I'll go through the code unless I really want to see something that would interest me. Okay, so this app, it's very basic when it comes to the map, and this is exactly what I want. I would want to have the lines more on the I would actually color them, at least have some colors to it. And the Apple Maps, I will directly use the Apple Maps as well. And if I cross this video and I see that there is Gentle Streak, which also does a very kind of similar thing of what I want to do, which is a good sign, because this is also an ADA winner or a finalist. But the idea is that it is a popular app, so even if they're just putting this much effort and not doing all the mean, like, it's for casual users, this is really nice, but for advanced users, I would assume that they would want to know in which part they had more pace and less pace. There's this app called as Dog Walk that gives much more idea. The Gentle Streak, see, this is the one that I was talking about, the idea to share the map and then have the distance or the kilometers and your pace on top of that, because this is what I would directly do on my when I was share. If I had a solid run when I did my 5k, it wasn't a solid, but anyway, if it was something that I wanted to share on Instagram, so it would have an option to directly share using that view. And we have the Nike Start Run. Let's see if we have a few more examples. So this is what I was talking about. Uh, uh, you see that it's kind of color coded with orange and yellow, and I assume that it signifies the pace. Like in the beginning it was you were running much more faster, and then you slowed down, and the green is like kind of walking, and then you picked up the pace again at the end of the race. I think it's opposite. You start from the green and end at red. Yeah. So this is any distance with the nice gradients on top. And let's see, this is Strava, very similar to what we have already seen. Then this is the cooler one, where you have the cool maps, and they don't mention at Apple Maps, so I'm not sure where they're getting the data from, or they have some uh, pact with Apple that they do not show the Apple Maps logo. And there's All Trace, that also has a very simple green UI. So I kind of have an idea of what I want from the UI. And just one last thing I will do and check out on, oh, Tripsy app showed the sportsman on Bangkok, Thailand. It's very near where I am staying. Nice. So I think that's it to get an understanding of what I wanted, and validating the map from the UI that I have seen on of different apps, the popular ones. So what I will do next is I will go to Alex. This is the tool that I use for coding. You and I will start with can you please tell me more about the workout detail view and how we are fetching the workout data, and are we fetching the workout route or not? Please do not edit any code. So when I say please do not edit any code, it's kind of the research mode that we see in Cloud Code. So it is analyzing the files, and I have the workout details view. In the meanwhile, I would directly open the app, and what I would want to do is open the workout detail view here and use the previews, because it's much more easier to work on the previews. And another thing that I will do is create a mock data with a HK route. So it's much easier to test directly on the previews versus trying to do it on the phone and back and forth that I have to do. Uh, I'm taking the assumption that the previews will work very nicely. So we have the are you fetching the workout route? So you are fetching the workout route. Say how it works. So I didn't know that this is what happens when you do the vibe coding part. So let's go through the whole response one by one. So we have a hero section, we have a grid layout to adapter grids, and a dynamic content scheme section. Then I'm data fetching process, which does the load data, where I get the heart rate data and the route data. And yes, there's a step 1 where I'm matching the HK workout object from health kit. Then I'm querying for the HK workout route sample and extract the CL location coordinates as well, and then convert it into the a coordinate to the object, so I can get the latitude and the longitude. And when the route exits, it displays a map with the route coordinates. So it says that it should already display the routes, but I have not seen, and I've never tried debugging it. So now we can say that okay, we are kind of vibe debugging the UI itself. And while it is preparing, I would want to directly do it in the app itself, because it's much nicer. And I will say that I have around 5 walking and running data, but I do not see the map in the detailed view in the actual app. Can you please debug in detail on what is going wrong here? I have to say please every time, so that when we achieve singularity, it does not come for me. That's my hope. And hope is a bird that perches in the soul. This is a very old poem that I did back in 2014 or 15 in my English class. And this is a line that I usually keep as a motivation, that you should be hopeful on your way down and be humble on your way up. So now I can see the main issues. Let's create a comprehensive solution. The key issues are that it is missing authorization, there is no request that I'm doing, the errors are not caught, and there's no debug logging on why it is actually failing. So let me provide you with an improved version, and here's the fix to include the workout route permission. So I did not know that you have to get another route, and it makes sense from a privacy perspective that you have to get another a permission for it. And I assume this health service is a big file uh, for the authorization. So what I did, that I have different health kit, like I have a main health kit service class that has many methods, but each of them are categorized and in separate files based on their main purpose. So this authorization one is health kit service plus authorization, and it has an extension with the methods that I can directly use. So you in the types to read, you include the HK object type as workout type, which is something that I was not doing, and I'm not sure. So I have to re-request the since we added. So you delete the app and go to settings, health. I actually don't know how I would do, especially now the app is already live on the App Store. What's the process behind doing that? How do you accept them directly again? So while the app is building, I verify the GPS data. The most common is the missing data, because I know the data exists. That's how Strava or other apps are using. I'm not sure if any distance has it. Let me just open any distance directly and see if it has it. So in any distance, I see that I have done a run of 1.5 miles, and when I click on this, it says that it is saved to Apple Health, but it does not show me a map. So I'm not sure if it is my Garmin that is not showing the data, or which is not adding the data directly, or is it uh, because Strava takes the data directly from Garmin and not from HealthKit. So I'm not sure if that's the case. And just to be sure on that part, I will also open the other app, what we saw during the design session, which is Gentler Streak. And let's see if it has the data as well, because if it does not, then it will be kind of a fail for me, because I cannot use the data directly from just give me 1 second. So let's see, on the outdoor run, it is not showing me the map. So it says it's tracked with Connect, which is the app. If I see the charts, it's showing me the charts, but I do not see any data as such. So that's a pain. So I would still try to create this map and add it, and I hope somebody with an Apple Watch can track and let me know how it looks like, because I do not want to uh, ruin the stream, the main purpose of the stream. So I will, this is a problem that I've been facing with, where it will say unable to find the module dependency and audit collections. Oh man, I am disappointed. Why does not, the government has a problem when it is saving the data, even the HRV, it will show it in the main app itself, but it will never write to it, which is absurd. Like, you have the most detailed data, one of the most detailed uh, HRV value, but you are not showing it. Like, for what reasons? So we have the outdoor walk. This was a 41 minutes walk, and I burnt 144, which is equivalent to is that we have a banana. And it was in the morning, and I was running very slow. As you can see, it was just a 13 pace. So the speed, my heart rate did not go much. So why is it not building? So in the meanwhile, the another thing that I can do is just look at the code. Also, in the workout detail view, how are we using the map? Apple Maps. Yes, we are using the Apple Maps using SwiftUI's map view. However, I can see several issues with your current implementation that would prevent showing the route. So there's no route polyline. You're only setting the map region, but not actually drawing the route map, and only using the first coordinate. You are centering on the first coordinate, but not utilizing the route coordinates. And you have a fixed hard-coded zoom. And now it has written me the code with using the MK polyline, and I see one error here because it requires the coordinate to be equitable, and I don't think it is equitable. And what's the code? So it will create the multiple lines of code, take the minimum maximum values, and then create the center out of it, add some padding on the route, and then return the particular coordinate. And then it will continue doing this for I think a lot of the values out there. So this is setting up the map region, and then if there are many coordinates, we use the map polyline with all the coordinates that we have, and then it uses a stroke line with line cap, and it is using the theme's primary color, so it's smart enough to get that sorted. Okay, now we try to build again, and it also added a preview, so I can see that. So I have a workout route section with particular preview. So if in case my Garmin my Garmin implementation will not work, most likely because I can see the other apps that I'm using and they do not have access to the health kit data. So I can at least see it in the previews with the basic data, and then I will ask it to create more previews and edge cases so that I'm sure that okay, it's working very well. So usually in all the streams that I've done, which is a total of 2, the previews worked beautifully, but today is not a good day, both in case of working on this feature and working with SwiftUI previews. So we will have to wait a while, and in the meanwhile, let's see how's the app going. So let's see if I go back to General Streak or any other app, and I can take some inspiration from them. So even if I try to open the health kit data and see if there is any thing that I can take. So let me show you how the main app looks like, the main Garmin app, which has all the data. So if I go back to I think the activities are in the main view itself. Yes, this one. So it will have all the details with the map as well, and this is what I was talking about in the beginning, that when I started out, I was starting uh, running kind of at a medium pace of 8. Then I picked up some pace here because I was trying to overtake some people, then slowed down a bit because we were taking a turn, and then I really pushed here with the pace of 5. And what I realized during my running journey is that I usually get I get out of breath when I try to hit the pace of 5, and that actually shows because after this you can see that it's all blue because I kind of slowed down very much, and I was supposed to finish the race, but I was like, okay, I'll just walk from here. It's okay not to push myself that much. And I think for the walking as well, if I see this one, I would have some really nice map. It's all blue, nice. So now I hope that we would get the maps. I think I have to do the authorization again. So for that, I have deleted the app from the app itself, or from the phone itself, and then I will have to go through the onboarding again. Let the journey begin, blah blah blah, connect Apple Health, and let's see, do we have something? We have the workouts, but there's no, oh yeah, you see we have a new option called as the workout routes. So we are going to turn all of them, and then it connects to the health. Then it will ask me for my name. I have the auto completion there. It will load my workouts, shows me the onboarding, like the money part, and then I go down and click on one of the running races and see if it has the workout data, and it actually does not. So workout spam, I don't think it has data there. So that's unfortunate on my side, but if I had an Apple Watch, then this view would have been populated with a very nice map, which is not happening in this case. But I just want to see how it would look in a real world use case. That's why I'm pushing for having this workout route sessions with TI previews, and then I can wrap up the uh, stream, because it did not went the way I wanted to be, and that's how life is. But we do what we get from the best out of it. Oh man, please work. So what I've realized, that when you, instead of having it build on its own, if you build the app first using command B and then run the canvas, then it would usually work uh, well. But that does not seem to be the case right now. So apart from that, the app is coming out pretty well. The biggest feature that I really want to ship, maybe tonight itself, is, and I want to do another stream for it. So the idea is that we have this partner, but I want to get rid of this partner part and just have a home. So the home will have all the AI related stuff and everything that is related to the tracking. And in the main view, I will have a nutrition one that has all the tracking and the nutrition data, but uh, and the sleep has a different one, and this partner has, oops. So I was working on the theming, and seems there's no down back button. So I'm glad I have this something that I can fix. I think I can do it right now as well. On the settings view, there is theme settings that does not have a back button. Can you make sure we are using the navigation link instead of the sheet full screen cover? Yeah. So the idea is that it will have this main nutrition view with the calories and the protein, carbs, and fat. There will be another option for water as well, but and the workout will have the workout data, but the main dashboard will have a calorie deficit view that gives you how many calories are you in deficit in, and how many calories that you need more. And for that you will have to do the onboarding again. So that is something I will have to enforce, because I would do the calculation on the daily expenditure. There's a formula for that based on your height and weight and your gender. So the key part is I made removing the navigation stack wrapper from, so here's what's happening. So it created its own uh, wrapper. That was the reason. And in this view, I would also want to make sure that we are using the background, which is called as the background as top gradient view. I'm so stubborn that I would not leave the stream until it actually stops. It will actually run. So for that, I would just close Xcode for a moment so I can make sure that we are on the same page. And let's open Xcode again. We have the Zenther project. It is waiting for the packages to load. One thing that has made my builds significantly longer is adding MLX to the projects, and I'm still thinking if that's worth it. Having the user download a map or the whole model for just for the motivation text and the main pattern. Like, should I keep that exclusive to iOS 26? But that will be too late in terms of shipping for Shipaton. So that's a question that I'm debating every day, because even if I do the simple API call to, let's say, Grok, which is much way faster, and I can get Llama 8 billion model for, I don't know, $0.2, 1 million tokens, the output will be much better or superior than the foundation model. And I will I do not want to have an inferior experience for the people who are using it or for iOS 26 versus iOS 18. And the data privacy issues is there as well, because I will be giving the whole data as context. So we are still waiting for the Swift UI previews. I have no idea why it's so bad today. Will I be? Oh, it worked. So just all I needed was a restart. I wasted so much time on that. So what I realized is, once you get the workout out section, says that Zenther may have crashed, and I think it's because I'm 100% sure it's because of the theming problem, not the problem. So it's like I have to provide it with the environment of theme manager, and that should hopefully fix it. And it would complain. I don't think it would complain because we are using the theme manager. Yeah, so it worked. So this is very bad in terms of what I was expecting. I wouldn't say it's bad. And why is it doing this whole one line and two lines? So can you please look into the data from the workout detail view, especially the design, and update the workout section. It is the glass effect majorly. And I would also want to have more data, so I know that it is just not a straight line that we are running through, because this looks horrible. This is not I would want users to have an experience of, because this is a very bad experience in itself, which is one line and not. But like I know there's only three coordinates and they are very close to each other, so it makes sense of why it's just a single diagonal line. But I would update the previews to be much more precise, because I'm running in a black box at this moment, because I do not have the workout data or the workout route for my workouts. So I just cannot test this until somebody else tests it for me, who have an Apple Watch and the data is stored in HealthKit. In the meanwhile, I will see if I have some comments. I see some people are live tuned, but are there any comments? No, they're not. Nice. I think it's just talking to myself. This is what I would do anyway, so it doesn't hurt to just stream it directly, because I know I have a direct focus and what I would want to get out of the stream. So let's see, it added shadow, it added this overlay with the stroke border, and I don't think this is how it would want it to be. It does add the glass effect, which I wanted it to be, so it did understand the how the glass effect and the header design pattern works, with this icon and the gradient and the title with the bold color for the proper hierarchy. So it does understand looking at the different files. And so the previews has a very simple data that does not represent a map. That does not represent a real life map. and also remove the route distance and elevation and GPS points, because we are not using it. So update the previews with more realistic data of a run. Yeah. And when it does this, it is doing the background, but instead of that I would want it to do preferred background scheme of dark, because that's the whole app is in dark mode. I'm still trying to understand how I would have the top gradients, because if I look at other apps that does this, they would have this uh, dark mode for the whole app. Let's say if I this Garmin app as well, it's in dark mode. And then even if I look at the Any Distance app, it's in dark mode. Yep. The main fitness app of Apple is also in dark mode. And there are many workout apps there which are in dark mode. So now it is has done a static run, which is a mock neighborhood run, where we run down the Castro Street, turn aside, then do an uphill climb, then top of a hill, then a plateau run, then we start a descent, and there's a Central Park run. Oh, we are in NYC. Heading in the park along the loop road, north side of the park, approaching the reservoir, turn around the reservoir, north end of a reservoir. I couldn't get myself to do this run. Oh, nice. This looks much more prettier now. And in the end, instead of doing this, uh, instead of this, please do the dot preferred scream dark. I could have done it myself, but I just wanted to play around with the previews while it does that few lines of code for me. So now you can see it is doing a much nicer view when it starts the whole loop. So this seems pretty, to be honest, and I'm happy how it turned out to be. So this is what an actual user will see when they have the coordinates in their app. I see this is much more prettier. And let's see if it actually goes with the whole idea of the app itself, which means that I will have to see it in the workout detail view. So see the workout detail view, and pass this mock neighborhood, the Central Park run in that. So let's see if I go back in the workout detail view and try to load that. This is something that I'm really proud of, that the whole app has a lot of previews. Like if I wish that I had, it's not that I wish, I can go and get myself a new MacBook M4 Max or something, then I am hoping that the previews will load way much faster than I have on my M1 Pro. But maybe that's not the case. So it is creating a new workout detail view file, which I do not want it to do. Did it have an impact? So let's see, if I go scroll down, I can see that it is doing the preview workout helper view, and it is crashing because of the same reason as earlier, that we have to do the environment theme. This is something I have to mention in the alex.rule file, that I do not have to do it every time that there's a preview, and I don't know why I do that, but I can mention that all the time. So we have it set up the preview data. It says the heart rate data and the mock route data. In the real app, this would be done for the previews we are simulating by loading it directly. It is still crashing for some reason. Okay, I have to put it directly here. I could have done this previewable add state, mock detail, and something, and this will have the preferred scream of dark. And I feel there's some black color coming from somewhere. Yeah, I need to get rid of this. I don't like it. So in this, it is not showing me the map. And you can see that the Zenther AI directly works based on this data because we are using the foundation model, which runs directly in the SwiftUI previews as well. It is not working in the previews. I do not see a map. I think the view is not it's not architected, if that's the cool word I have to use. It's not architected in a way that I can directly inject a map data. So it is now creating a better solution for me. There's no enum case running. Okay, I have to import healthkit. And then I also have to pass the data. So I would just, I can do it myself. Previewable workout data. I'm passing one. So the thing is, I just get rid of this one because it created a few more, one without the route, one for the Central Park, and running workout with the route, which is in SF. I got a comment on how Alex Sidebar. It's pretty nice to work with. Ambiguous implement. Okay. Why is it making it internal? This was the Apple's auto completion fix. I don't know what will happen with this company. In the meanwhile, I think I'm pretty happy with the implementation, so I will directly commit the changes made. And just want to have one last look on how it would look like. Okay, so this is with route. It says it's supposed to be with route, but I don't see anything again. Okay, the route map. Yeah, it's working. So I will just take a screenshot of this as a trophy on how it worked. Yeah. As I mentioned, I would want to have the route map directly. Like, I do not have to mention the word route map separately because it shows that it's a route map, right? And even if I look at the other apps on the App Store, all the trial ones, they would not say route as a separate thing, because I assume it is very obvious that it is a route. Yep. So this is something I would just do it myself. I will go back to workout route section and remove this line where it says this whole H stack, and then I have a V stack, and there's a particular frame on it, so it does not extend, which makes sense. It clips shape to, I think I should be using a 16 instead. And I do not want this overlay or the shadow because I'm already doing this because I already have a class effect. So this is it. It has a padding of 24 and a direct glass effect, which, so if I just have to show you what this class effect is, it is for available iOS 26, it uses dot class effect in a rectangular with a particular class radius, which is 16. And for the old background, which is iOS 18, it will be a combination of linear gradient, shadows, and the overlays. That's why I removed the overlay from here, because it would have been a double overlay. So the idea is now the view apple the app the map view will have the glass effect on its borders, which should look nice. This is how I think it would look in my head, but we never know. Yeah, so this is how it looks like. It is adding this padding that I don't want. So if I zoom in, do I see anything as such when it comes to the glass effect? There's nothing on the borders. And if I go back to the workout detail view, I need to also change the order in which they show the workout. So these are the flexible grids and this one. So this goes above all the cards, the metric cards, so just after the hero section. It should update, right? This is the workout route section and running workout. Now this is weird. I have the heart rate chart, then the insight section. The preview crashed, thank you. Think it is for some reason caching the data and showing me the previous one, but the idea is that I am happy with how I have the map. I would increase the route from 200 to 300, so or at least 250, so it's much more. It's not like a horizontal one but more of a square one, because I want the initially my plan was to have it replace the main 4 grids that I have in the beginning. So we have the running workout with the route and the Central Park run. We are still waiting for the Swift AI previews to load. And for some reason, even though I have it in the VStack, at this point it would I have to kind of just build it again just to make sure that it is not using the cached preview. This has mostly never happened to me before, but there's always a new or the one time that will happen, especially during a stream. But I'm very happy on how this stream ended, because in the beginning or in the middle of it, I was very disheartened. I am still disheartened that I cannot see my Garmin's map, but I have something in terms of the route section that I can work with. And on test flight, if anybody of you watching is using the app and wants to test it, and want to see how the maps will look like, it's nothing fancy, it's just a normal map with the polyline. So if you want to have a look and tell me how it looks like and send me a screenshot, I would be happy to do that. So let's see, it's still building the app for me. We have 41 out of 62, 46, 54. I'm losing patience, to be honest, at this point. So for some reason it's still doing it after the main view. I have no idea why, even after I moved it above, and there's no code in here that can change that. Oh, I know. I know now. Damn. So the problem is it is okay, I'm sorry, SwiftUI previews, you were not wrong. It was me or Sonnet 4 which kind of created this whole mock view just to see how the view will look like. It just copy pasted it, so that's why when I was making change in the main one, it would not do it in the actual one, because we are using the previews, the preview detail view. So with that, now the map should show on the top, and I would need to add some padding to it. I will have to do it in the main view as well. So we will go with 24. I don't think it should be 24. Let's see how that looks like. And I can get rid of this boarding. Oops. I can get rid of the bottom 32 padding as well then. Otherwise it will look a lot. And what's even this 0? Just don't put the padding. Okay, so this is what I wanted and it looks nicer. I don't know, for some reason I wanted it to have that border and put it into a border. I'm not sure if that's something I want, but okay, this is better than what we had before. So we'll take this line and just make sure that we replace this here, and then I directly commit the code. I need to find a better way to inject the workout data, because this is not a good way if I'm not able to inject it directly. So anyway, that's not something very important at this point. With that, I hope you learned something new, or I'll just take a picture of it. Yeah, so I hope you learned something new and we are able to I, I don't know, like, use how I use Alex Sidebar for doing the AI stuff. I did not write most of the code. Almost all of it is written by AI, and I'm pretty okay. The code can always be improved, but I have been able to get at this point. There's no way I could have been able to get at this point if I was not using any AI tool. I started the whole code base with Cloud Code and then moved to Alex Sidebar because it's just much easier to work when you have the sidebar on the right and you can watch the SwiftUI previews here. You can kind of do a very similar thing with Cloud Code. This is what I was doing. So you can have an instance of I usually use it with cursor, and it has its own extension. So I would just have that window at the terminal window as a separate window, and then put that on the right as the Cloud Code sidebar. But I don't use that anymore, especially with their weekly limits. I was abusing their plan very well. Like, I did it for 1 month. I did like $4,000 credits on the $200 plan, and now they have the weekly limits. And if I'm using Opus, I really know I will hit the if we were doing this session, definitely not, we would not hit the Opus limit. But when I'm much more, like in the beginning, when the app was much more in the native state and I would want to have a lot of features built in, then I was easily hitting the limits. And Alex does not have any rate limit, especially on this Sonnet plan, and I'm kind of happy with how the whole setup has turned out to be. So with that, I'm ending the stream, and I will do another one on calorie deficit. I already have the code for calorie deficit somewhere. If I have to search for it, I know that I have the widgets directly for it. So if I go and search for the widgets, where are the widgets? There should be a calorie deficit or a deficit tracking widget. So the UI is not that pretty, and but I do know that I have all the logic for calculating the burn and subtracting it from the daily expenditure, or adding it to the daily expenditure and subtracting the calories that I ate from the daily expenditure. So this is what the calorie deficit thing that I was looking at. So you have this a very nice one if it's a deficit tracker, because you can also be on a surplus. You would want to be on a surplus. So this is the remaining, like how many calories are remaining today, consumed and burnt. So this is what I wanted, and this is what I will have on the main new dashboard view, or the home view. So it will be a home view, workout section, a nutrition section, and the sleep section. I really have to work harder on the sleep. So it feels like it's a 3-in-1 app, but it's not good at any of them. So it's like a jack of all trades, master of none kind of situation, which I do not want to be in. I really want to nail one thing very well, which should be the macros, because the macros market is much bigger than the fitness market. With that, I'm ending the stream, and thank you so much for joining in.